What's up, fellow investors? This is Matt coming as Market Matt making another video. I analyze a lot of stocks, and on this channel I plan to post that analysis and my thoughts. So if you think you'll like that content, please like this video and subscribe. On this video, I plan to do a recap of Splunk's earnings. They posted earnings this week, so I want to dig into the numbers and see how they did. It's so important to understand the businesses that and stocks that you own during times like this because it helps give you conviction so you don't panic and sell at the wrong time. All right, so let's cut to the intro. All right, so this is the investor presentation that Splunk provides on its website. If you want to download this yourself, you can find it on the investor relations page of Splunk's website. A lot of companies post really useful information to the investor relations section of their website. So I'd really recommend any company you own, go check that section out. I'm sure they post a lot of useful materials so you can help understand the numbers the company is posting. In case this is your first time looking at Splunk, just to give a brief overview, like its slogan says, Splunk turned data into doing. Splunk is a big data company. It basically has a software that helps organize and compile a very large amount of data so that it can be analyzed real time. And it's supposed to help turn that data into something actionable so the company can learn useful insights about user behavior or improve something in operations or uncover a security threat. It has a whole lot of different applications. And the company is largely transitioning to be a subscription cloud company right now from a licensed software company. This slide shows that Splunk is doing a really good job at increasing its annually recurring revenue. Mostly, this largely comes from subscriptions. On the left here, this is its total annual recurring revenue. The company's revenue is still a mix of license and cloud. So the total is going to include the license section of its revenue. Still, it's been showing really strong numbers going back at 54, 52, 50, 44, 41%. Those are all year over year growth numbers, and it is still, it's a very strong grower. And on the cloud end too, it's been posting 80, 82, 89, 71, 83% growth year over year for the quarters, the last 5 quarters. I mean, that is just amazing growth, and I really do think that even though the stock is sliding, that I generally thought this earnings report was really good, and it continues to grow at very impressive levels. This is a company that's definitely going to get back on track, and I'm really excited to own this company and add to it during periods where there's all this fear and irrational selling going on in the market. And for anybody looking for a good growth company to invest in, this has to be a good candidate that you can look at. I think this is one of my favorite slides that they have in this deck. Splunk is saying it has consistently high renewal and expansion through its dollar-based net retention rate, trailing 12 months. How this is basically calculated is they look at the customers that they had a year ago, and they look at the revenue that they were doing with that group then. Now they're looking at, okay, what revenue are we doing with that same group of customers now? So since it's over 100%, this is the best representation of its internal growth rate from its customers and not looking at any new additions or onboarding. It's strictly a number that's looking at, okay, how much are our current customers expanding business with us? And this is a really reassuring number because it shows that the software and product that Splunk is giving to companies, that they are really satisfied and it's becoming an integral part of their operations that they want to use more. So companies are finding value in this and they want to expand with Splunk. This is a pretty easy slide to understand. This is basically showing the transition that Splunk is currently going through right now to get everybody on a subscription model from a license model. Back in 2018, 22% of its bookings were for cloud, which is now all subscription. And now in 2021, 50% are coming from software bookings that are attributed to cloud. So, man, this company is really shifting fast to the cloud. And I do think this shows that the management team is doing a good job with making this transition. This is the slide that best shows the recent weakness in Splunk. Total revenues in transition with shift to subscription model. Fiscal year 20, Splunk posted revenue about $2.35 billion. In fiscal year 2021, they posted $2.2 billion, which was down 5% from the prior year. The reason that this was down so significantly is because the license part of Splunk's revenue was all done on premises with companies. So it was affected by COVID last year, where they just couldn't follow through on a lot of their contracts. And so this really expedited the shift to its cloud and subscription model. And so I do believe that this is just a hiccup in the road, and I'm happy to add Splunk to my position right now during this weakness. I think Splunk is doing a really good job at positioning itself to do very well in the future. It's continuing to show very strong growth numbers in its cloud section, which is going to start to overtake a majority of Splunk's revenue, and it's starting to build a very strong customer base that they can continue to grow with them into the future. To build off the last slide, I wanted to pull up a chart of Splunk just so everybody can see, how much it's fallen. Its peak was at 223, 225-ish. And I mean, this is about a 40% drop from that peak. So I mean, this is something that has sold off pretty significantly. This is a weekly chart, and it's if you follow moving averages at all, it's just about running into its 200 EMA weekly average. Last time when it also saw a significant sell-off in March of 2020, also a 40% drop. It was able to find support right around this area. I am a long-term investor. Even if it does spike through this or does fall through this, I'm going to probably continue buying it until the fundamentals change. But this is a point where I'm willing to take a stab and see, if this is where it's going to find that support. And if you're interested in learning more about Splunk, the first video I did was a pretty in-depth analysis of that company, and I'm going to include that link at the end of this video, so please check that out. This was my quick recap on Splunk's earnings. I am Market Matt, and everybody have good luck investing.